today's Tuesday, and it's all about books. But first, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Audrey. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much, Candice. Have you ever considered a career in singing?
It's your birthday.
Thank you.
It's your birthday.
Thank
How are your birthday, girl?
I'm feeling, but I don't feel any different. But I am getting older.
You are taking our joy away from having your birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have plans today?
No, it's just the usual errands, work.
Somebody help me do something with Audrey, please. She's all dolled up, looking really, really extra cute. And you're like, no, I'm trying to look like it's my birthday. And she's got nothing planned. Like all this cuteness to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Season 2. I'm deflated. I'm joking. Season 2. What is this?
So this is a short story anthology. So the founder of the platform is called Sympathy Sibanda. She started this women's writing support network, Africa.
Wow.
So they did a volume 1. This is the volume 2, and 11 women participated in the anthology. So it's very amazing because the concept is she talks about bleeding on paper.
Bleeding on paper. That's very emotive. That's very emotive for me because you associate bleeding with some form of injury, some form of pain, but also some form of healing. Is that what she's speaking to as she coins this phrase?
Definitely. You know how they say writing is a cathartic process. As you write, whatever you're going through, you leave it on the paper. So it's like you're saying, like you're rightly saying, yes. And she's saying whenever you're going through issues, everyone has issues, they're just different. So she's saying, write about it and leave it on the paper.
So this is season 2, 11 female writers. Are they all Zimbabwean?
All Zimbabweans, but across the globe. One is in Canada, different parts of the country. And the interesting thing about this anthology is this year she's doing an anthology for African countries.
Oh, wow.
So we've got 7 countries, Nigeria, Cameroon, Zambia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. So this is so amazing that she's now reaching out to other countries from Zimbabwe.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, what is the content of season 2?
Okay, so there is no theme. They're not given a theme, but they're just supposed to write what they think or what they want to leave on the paper. So you've got one story which really touched my heart is a young student born with a chronic disease, It's very new. No one knows about it. You go through so many tests, like from infancy. And people even start associating you with one of those other diseases. But so she's sharing how it's been a burden to her. We've got another story whereby one woman married, staying with the in-laws, no children, had a miscarriage. Then the other one was a stillbirth. So she shares about how, people calling her names, and the husband loves her and he wants her to stay with her, but the in-laws, the sister-in-laws. So it's a different set of stories, but all of them, people are going through issues and they lift them on the paper.
I think, let's maybe pick up on the one with the chronic illness, as you've spoken about. I think the wonderful thing about finding such collections, such books, such anthologies, is you are exposed to different things from different people. And in this instance, you're talking about a disease that there's still very little information about it. And yet we get a first-hand experience of somebody who's living with it. And I think it kind of changes how you view life, doesn't it?
It does. And like you're rightly saying, how I'm always saying you think you've got problems up until you hear other people's problems. So like she's a young lady, and she's explaining how she can't even participate with the other children when they're playing. And she's had it from birth. So you can imagine the burden. And we, like right now, we have so many chronic diseases going on. Some people, they've blood pressure, diabetes. So we've got people popping tablets, as many as 10, 20 a day just to stay alive. Yeah.
And we are here taking for granted good health and moaning and groaning about things we have no business moaning about, really. That gives you a new perspective. Now, I saw a headline, a topic here that kind of caught my attention. I'm hoping you had gotten to this one. Shattered memoirs.
This one. So you know how every time you've got your dreams, you've got your plans, but someone was saying life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. So we've got that one, that story there. Then there's another interesting story which I had to mention.
Yeah.
You know how we always talk about extramarital affairs, but in this case, the wife actually knows that the man is in love with someone else, and she actually gives a blessing for him to marry that other woman. And eventually he does, and the whole family, you know, approves, and everyone approves, and they live happily ever after, so to say.
That's a very strange scenario. I'm like, okay, all right. I don't know many people who would be that open-minded to say, okay, you're in love with somebody else. Like, yeah. So you see, now we have more reasons to read this. Now, you know, the process of bringing people together, and you're talking about them being in different countries, scattered across the world, bringing them together and putting together a collection of tangible work, tangible bodies of work that can be presented to people is not an easy process. How long did it take them to put season 2 together?
So I think they do it annually. So it starts from the beginning of the year already. They're making plans on bringing the people together. And already it's a platform, so it's just not the books that they do. Every week, some days they'll be celebrating wins. You know how we don't celebrate wins, but like you're saying, the fact that we are alive and breathing today, that's actually a win. And then they share every other day. So the book is like the ultimate icing on the cake at the end of the year. But all the time they're working with women and just talking about this, bleeding on paper.
Wow. Now, if somebody wants to maybe get their hands on this book, but also more importantly, get in touch with the Women Writer Support Network, how do they go about it?
Okay, so they can find Sympathy Sibanda on Facebook. She's also on Facebook, Women Writer Support Network Africa. The book is being sold at their offices at Batanai Gardens, and it's also available on Amazon.
Who's reading this?
Everyone should read this because, like you rightly said, yes, we can say it's a women's anthology, but it's got stories that touch everyone. So everyone should definitely read this book.
All right, birthday girl, thank you for joining us. I'm just going to. It cannot to can. We know that idea. No
cake.
Yes, that must be done. All right. Now, of course, please do head on over to Audrey's Facebook page, Instagram, wherever it is you can find her, and wish her a happy birthday. It's her birthday, and then force her to do something that, wasn't planned, so she can have it. It's a bit of fun on her birthday. She doesn't sound like she's planning anything. So let's surprise her, why don't we?
Konapo, Ipapo pa ZTNPrime, DSTV channel 294.